If you were here last week, you got to enjoy me and Josiah talking about All Elite Wrestling. Well, Josiah came back this week. We are going to talk about WWE. But before I roll that beautiful open and we talk about our triple shot, our what we think will happen, what we want to happen, and a wild card, I'm going to shill. And I'm going to talk to you about my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, all day long. This is the Jeff Hicks cover. This is the Nick Crook cover. There are limited quantities of both available at Etsy.com. Follow the link in the description. So, like this video, share this video, turn on notifications, share with a friend, blah, 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 all that stuff. Enjoy the open. Enjoy the show. So I hope make it not boring.
Okay.
But
that makes a lot
anyway,
of sense.
to the actual point. Welcome back. Said it in the intro. Josiah's returned, and oh look at that, it's an AEW shirt, but it's Cody Rhodes. We are going to talk about WWE Hell in a Cell.
So
hey, it's actually happening in the same place Forbidden Door's going down. Chicago, Illinois.
yeah, but one of those is gonna be a much better show than the other.
I think you're right.
All right, so listen, we'll be up front with you guys. At the time of recording, there's only 2 matches of the card.
Yeah. And I don't trust them anyway, so everything past what I think will happen is just me doing what I want to happen, basically. So, but that's how a wild card can be. It can be what I want.
Exactly.
And it's definitely how I want can be. It's definitely what I want. So, since you went first last week, you mind if I go first this time?
After you.
All right. So, at Hell in a Cell, what I think will happen is the American Nightmare.
Stardust.
Cody Rhodes will three-peat, I believe, for the 3rd pay-per-view straight. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will defeat Seth freaking Rollins, but this time in what?
I forget they had the freak.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like
it's
I don't
so random.
I don't even get the what makes him so
just
whatever.
Just say Seth effing Rollins if you're really gonna go that route.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
But yeah, I do believe Cody will keep his momentum. I believe that Cody will defeat Seth once again. And I didn't write this down, but I'm going to just throw some stuff off the top of my head. This is no longer what I think, but it's what I'm assuming. I assume that after Seth loses for a 3rd straight time, he will turn babyface. And here's why.
Not mad at that.
So, because he's been on a streak of not getting it done, I think the best course of action would be to change his outlook, to change his approach, and to come at things from a new perspective. That way he can start being on the winning ways. The end. Like, kick himself into a new gear. And, let's be real. The fans already sing and dance along, so why not just
might as well just ride the wave.
Let him actually just turn over a new leaf and say, I've learned the error of my ways or something. And don't even necessarily say it. Just have him demonstrate. You know how you could have him demonstrate it?
Ah.
So, if Cody winning consistently is a setup for him to challenge Roman, then I think a good way to move forward with that is to have the Usos and Roman attempt to take out Cody because he's the new challenger.
Of course, yeah.
You know, he's being treated as a top guy.
He's a threat to the
threat, exactly.
Threat to my tribal chief.
You're right. So you could easily do a Seth has now bestowed his respect upon Cody and comes down to make the save. They could do the very famous back-to-back, turn around and dukes up kind of thing.
We got this.
And then they realize, wait, we need to be facing the people that are against us and not us at this point. So I didn't come into the video assuming that I would turn Seth or to say I think Seth Rollins will turn babyface.
But it felt right at the time.
But it does feel right, and I think that it would be a smart call on their part.
Got it. So now that you said that, and that made plenty of sense, that definitely will not be happening.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad.
WWE logic.
So Tony Khan's not booking this show. I forgot.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. All right.
What do you think will happen, sir?
I be honest, exact same thing as you. Like I said, there's only 2 matches to go. I do think Cody will win. I just think it makes sense. It doesn't make sense for him to lose right now. I think the match will be wonderful. It'll be a wonderful match. They're probably arguably the 2 most talented guys in the company right now.
I think top 5.
Top 5
are Roman, Cody, Seth, Bobby,
AJ.
Yeah, we'll say AJ. In no particular order. I'm just saying,
order.
They're all very skilled,
upper echelon.
Yeah.
Very hard for them to have a bad match.
As I said to a friend / coworker today, even I said, Bobby Lashley only needs to win 1 match, and I mean this any day of the week. Win 1 match, and it's like, yep, put the title back on that guy. He's that believable as a presence.
Yeah.
And let's say that he just won a match. He could just walk in and be like, I need that title, and then be like, yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, sir. Bobby Lashley. Nope.
Turns out you're right.
Man, shoot. So the other day, I don't know what spurred me to do it, but I watched. You remember that obstacle course when he was feuding with Sami Zayn? So ignore all the other bad stuff. Just the obstacle course.
Are you talking about the sister gimmick?
No. So it was the week right before the sister gimmick.
Okay.
And he was running. Sammy ran an obstacle course.
Okay.
And then said, all right, Bobby, you do it. And Bobby tore through this obstacle course like a beast. Now, give my Bobby's obviously military man.
Yes.
Wrestler his whole life.
Of course.
But just the way he was tearing through this obstacle course was incredible.
Well.
So, yeah.
The guy's super talented.
Yeah.
Super freaking talented.
And he's isn't he 45 or something?
I don't know, but I don't believe that age is what it used to be anymore.
Yeah.
When AJ Styles doesn't walk into your company until he's already the age that people thought Randy Savage should retire.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho is not looking to stop anytime soon at the age when Hulk Hogan was like, are you sure you should be doing this, guy?
Are you sure you can do that leg drop still? The answer was no. But.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if it's DDP yoga or if it's...
It has to be. That's the only thing I could think of. Oh, man. DDP is saving lives.
I love that man.
Love that man.
You ever met him?
Never once.
Oh, he's a good dude. I met him at Lexington Comic and Toy Convention.
Oh, that's awesome.
LCTC. But yeah,
is he as great as I think he is?
He is kind. He's humble. He's funny. He's great. He gave me the World Heavyweight title, Big Gold.
Oh.
And he's like, here, you want to hold that? I was like, yes, I do. Him and KO have that in common, actually. I met Kevin Steen before he was Kevin Owens.
Before he was rich.
And this was at an ROH show. He was like, I was admiring his...
Yeah, that's when I first saw him, was the 2011 ROH run.
I was admiring his, I don't know what they called it, but the eagled ROH strap.
Yeah, the old school one.
And he was like, oh, do you want to hold it? I was like, well, yes, sir, I do.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me. So, I don't think of myself as big as I am.
Yeah.
But that title was like super small in my hands.
Yeah.
It was almost like this. It was surprising. And it makes me wonder if Big Gold's as big as I think it is, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dusty wore it, so it had to be big.
Yeah, I'm about to say that had to be a decent sight, because you got to think of the guys who were holding Big Gold.
Right.
They were big, monstrous guys.
Absolutely.
Especially in the 80s and 90s, where you don't become world champion unless you're huge.
Ric Flair was an exception to that.
Yeah, but Ric Flair was Ric Flair.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So.
But good point.
I'm moving on to what I want to see happen at Hell in a Cell. And by that, I mean, a week before and the pay-per-view thereof.
Yeah.
So, since I get to play with the rules, they're my rules, I made them up. What I want to see happen is for Solo Sikoa, who, not in love with the name, I'll be honest with you.
They'll probably change it by the time he gets to the main roster anyway.
But, just roll with it. Whether that's what he calls himself, whether they call him something else.
Solo Uso. No, that doesn't work.
Well, do you know where Solo comes from?
No.
His dad's name, all their dad's name, is Solofa. So
Really?
Solo Fa, yeah, Solo Fa.
Oh.
And so Solo is actually an homage to Rikishi.
Huh.
I don't have a clue where Sikoa comes from.
Yeah, no, that one got me. But,
'Cause-
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I would be okay with Solo Uso. Solo Uso. Just because of the homage to the
Okay.
Big Quiche.
Oh, gotta respect Quiche. So, fair enough.
But back to the point. So the week or the Friday prior to the pay-per-view, I would love to see Baby Brother, blonde Baby Brother, come to SmackDown and help the Usos. If they are challenging or if they are fighting RK Bro for the tag titles, have little Baby Brother help them win. No matter what the Jimmy and Jay Usos are doing, have new Uso help them.
Fair enough.
But hypothetically, if it's RK Bro versus the Usos, have Solo help them win. But here's what I'd love to see happen.
Yeah.
I would love to see at Hell in a Cell for Ricochet, the one and only, to defend his Intercontinental Championship in an open challenge and lose to Solo. That way we can get another strap in the bloodline.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot Ricochet was there.
Well, that's partially why I'm taking the title off of him.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm not even mad at it. Give them all the titles on SmackDown. They pretty much run SmackDown already. Might as well make it official.
Because if it was up to me, I would just let Trevor out of his contract.
Yeah,
Like,
they
Vince doesn't care about it.
Literally don't use him.
So just
Like he was on main event the week before he won the Intercontinental title. Maybe 2 weeks
he hasn't
before.
done anything since he won it anyway. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I do too. No. He's had terrible promo segments with Aaliyah. I think we forgot about those.
I wonder why. So, Josiah, what do you want to see happen at Hell in a Cell?
Well, the other one comes down to the only other match they've announced so far,
Okay.
which is the Belair versus Asuka match.
Okay.
Now, putting all the crazy stuff that happened that led to this match to one side, Asuka is probably the most deserving person in the world to have a big spotlight on her. I honestly think she's probably the most underappreciated woman in wrestling right now.
That's a tall order because since I'm not putting it to a side, I think Sasha Banks, I think Mercedes, I think whatever you want to call her, could be the most underappreciated. I think Trinity, or Naomi, could be most unappreciated. I think a case could be made for almost any woman within the World Wrestling Entertainment Organization. A case could be made if your name isn't Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey.
Or Bayley.
She's had times where she had her case.
Right, but in the past,
To be underutilized.
4 years, 3 years?
I'm just saying, there have been times, and
There have been
hell,
times.
even Becky at a point was not treated as well as she
Yeah,
has been.
before she got her nose broken.
Exactly. So, my point is, I love Asuka, but as soon as Triple H was no longer booking her, she fell down too, because
No, that's not fair. It was great up until Charlotte beat her at Mania.
well, yeah, but Triple H wasn't booking that. Is my point.
Right,
It
but he was
Vince.
booking all the stuff right before it.
My
Okay, I get
only
your
point is that so many women have such a good case to say, you don't care about me. So I will agree that Asuka can make the case for Asuka that
Okay.
they don't care about her too.
Well,
so continue.
My case being, out of all the people, you got to remember pandemic era. She was pretty much carrying the show on her own.
Freaking awesome. Love her.
Fucking phenomenal. Sorry,
I know. Every time.
freaking phenomenal. I remember commentary. I was dying on her commentary. It was the best. But point being, Asuka's probably also one of the top wrestlers. I think that's unarguable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Belair is slowly proving herself to be one of the bigger attractions in the women's division, especially in the last couple of years.
So skilled.
So I want both of them I literally want Vince to look at them and go, you, 30 minutes, make it happen. That's
They
it.
could.
Nice and easy. Especially since, let's be honest, they're going to fill the show with filler anyway.
Yeah.
Cut out
if,
one of them filler matches,
if-
just give them the time.
If the pay-per-view is not happening inside a stadium, I don't think Vince cares about it.
Yeah.
Which means there's a good chance that your want can come to be a reality, because if Vince doesn't care and he says, I got some time to kill, you just go do your thing. Yes, please, let's do that. Let's have that.
You see,
Be so nice.
I would love that, but the problem is Vince doesn't think like that. What Vince thinks is, we have time, man. We could fit like 10 ad breaks into this.
That is something I've hated about these premium live event era.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was paying you
to not
for the
watch
network
commercials.
to get the program, not to get commercials. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like you can make a financial cut. Like I can actually, if I did the math, I could figure out, okay, per commercials, how much am I paying to watch commercials?
Yeah. Well, and more importantly than that, not more importantly, but on a side note, when I was watching WrestleMania, earlier in the year, I thought to myself, if I could edit this like I did back in my college days, and just throw out all these ads and all the product placement, I was like, phew, I could actually enjoy this show.
Yeah.
So
I'm just thinking about
just
WrestleMania alone. If I smash both nights together,
minus the ads, yeah.
Yeah, minus the ads, it probably would be like a 3-hour show.
I'm gonna say 4.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna say 4.
Well, I mean, they didn't have enough time for the New Day, so.
Yeah.
New Day and Butch.
No, Pete Dunne.
Oh yeah, right. Pete Dunne, Sheamus, and who was the other
guy? The breaking neck guy. Rich Holland.
Listen, I'm not holding that against him.
I don't like
it was clearly an accident.
I know it wasn't malicious, but
yeah.
Before I tell you my wild card pick, I'm gonna go off on a tangent and just say I like Ridge Holland. I think he's a fine potential star.
But where's that butt?
Well, my point comes in this: the company of WWE releases Limitless Keith Lee.
Yep.
Adam Cole Bebe.
Yep.
Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Now to be called Malachi Black.
Yep.
The list goes on. I'm sure that we could do this all night.
We actually could.
But the point is, just those 3 men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Years of experience.
Uh-huh.
Years of experience. But instead of promoting and utilizing this talent you already have on a contract with years of experience, you promote a rugby player, or was it lacrosse? Whatever.
No, it was rugby.
Okay. So an athlete that you like, that you think reminds you of a young Brock Lesnar, and you say, hey, young athlete man that reminds me of Brock Lesnar because I'm 75 freaking years old and I gotta think about 20 years in the past.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure how good Vince's eyes are. He might think it's Brock Lesnar.
He might. But my point is, you're bound to, not bound, it's not a mandate that it will happen, but you put yourself in a more likely scenario to have accidents occur when you pick not very experienced man over very experienced professionals. And that's kind of my beef with all of these crazy cuts. And more importantly than that, Aleister Black was over. Malachi Black is over. Adam Cole was over. Adam Cole is over. Keith Lee was over and is over. When has Ridge Holland been so popular that an entire...
I'm going to stop you right there. When has he been popular?
Well...
Was he popular at any point?
I mean, this much, but not this much, is my point. So, now that I'm done complaining about the structure of the company, I'm not complaining about Ridge Holland, the human, or whose real name is Luke. Yeah.
His real name is Luke?
That's the whole reason they named Pete Dunne Butch, is because Ridge Holland's real name is Luke.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
It's a Bushwhackers joke.
It's a Bushwhackers joke.
But anyway, I'm not complaining about Luke, the real man, or Ridge Holland, the character. I'm complaining about the structure of the company that thinks that real athlete man is better than real experienced wrestlers. Not just these 3, tons of them. You have a guy under contract right now that you're not using. The man is like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". He's great. And here's something else. Let me just tell you, Vince, if you ever tune in and you see this and you think, man, how can I rub it into that AEW? How can I pour some salt in the wound for people who miss CM Punk? Why don't you push Dominik Dijakovic, not T-Bar? And as a matter of fact, if you don't want to call him Dominic because of Dominic Mysterio, just let him use his real name, Donovan. Yeah. But regardless of what you call him, preferably not T-Bar, his finish is called Feast Your Eyes, and it can be a slap. I'm telling you, Vince, just let him do it. Push him, let him do it, and you just say, look, we're making fun of CM Punk. It'll make you happy. Oh, Mr. Old Man, you'll love it. He's humongous. He's talented. He's good looking. Push the man. Okay.
You good?
All right. I'm going to tell you my wild card now. My wild card pick is that at the end of the night, after the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defeats Seth freaking Rollins, I want Drew McIntyre to come down to the ring. I want him to look Cody Rhodes dead in the eye. I want him to tell him something that we, the audience, can't hear.
Ooh, I love this.
And then raise his arm high in the air, fade to black, come to Monday Night Raw, and then tell the fans what was said. Have Cody Rhodes come to the ring and introduce his former tag team partner, the man he held the tag team championship with, Drew McIntyre. And when Drew comes to the ring, I want them both to embrace, hug, be friends, be baby faces, be good guys. And I want, actually this also works with the Seth Rollins babyface because now it's 3-on-3. Yeah. But regardless, the point is that I want Drew McIntyre to have told Cody Rhodes after he won at Hell in a Cell, after he won in the main event, I want him to tell him that he talked to Adam Pearce and that Adam Pearce got approval from whoever, the powers that be, Stephanie, Vince, whatever the board, it doesn't matter, whatever gimmick you want to play. But I want Drew to relay to the audience what he relayed to Cody, and that at Money in the Bank, it's going to be Roman Reigns defending both the World Heavyweight Championship and the Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. The first fall of the match will be for the World Heavyweight, or for the Universal title, and the second fall of the match will be for the World Heavyweight title. You don't have to specify which one's which.
Yeah, I got you.
But I want to do a match that I haven't seen in quite some time. A match where one man holds two titles, and at the end of the match, he comes away with nothing, while also not taking the falls. So
yeah,
Kurt
right,
Angle,
not getting fit.
Kurt Angle defended his Eurocontinental Championship, the European title and the Intercontinental title, against Chris Jericho and, I'm not scared to say, Chris Benoit at WrestleMania.
It was a great match.
Yeah, and the fact is, if you do it again, if you take both titles off of Roman at Money in the Bank, and you set it up to where that Roman doesn't lose, then it's easy to set up rematches. It's easy to have the newly turned respectful Seth Rollins to say, I respect you, Cody Rhodes. Why don't you defend against me? Your daddy believed in me. I believe in you. Let's do this at SummerSlam, right? That could be good. Roman could say, you didn't defeat me for that Universal title. I was the reigning, defending, blah, blah, blah champion for however
Paul Heyman's
insert number at this time.
Yeah. Paul Heyman weasel his way in.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so then SummerSlam is now set. Double main event. Drew McIntyre defending against Roman. Mm-hmm. And Seth, now babyface, challenging babyface Cody. I think that could be a great build because there's such a short amount of time between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam that way you facilitate the main events of. Oh my goodness. This is off topic, but what if Seth won Money in the Bank again, but instead of cashing in dirty, he cashed in clean to prove that he's a good guy? Huh. That would be interesting. But anyway, that's not my wild card. My wild card is that Drew McIntyre confronts Cody after he wins at Hell in a Cell and lets him know that they will both be challenging Roman Reigns for both of his titles at the next Premium Live event.
I love it. I actually love that.
Well, and because the current
it's a good way to keep Roman strong.
Well, and the rumor is he's going to be taking time off this summer. Yeah. So I heard that he could have up to 10 weeks off. And if he has 10 weeks off, you don't want both of your top champions gone from both of your top shows.
Well, I mean, you could do this really wild thing where, you make the U.S. and Intercontinental titles matter, but...
Yeah,
I mean, what was I saying? That's beside the point.
Who's the United States champion? Exactly.
Oh, Austin Theory.
Okay.
I remembered.
And we already talked about how they're treating Ricochet, so
Yeah, the fact I had to sit there and think about it, that was a problem.
I know. But more importantly than that, they could also elevate the women's titles. Bianca could be main eventing. Ronda could be...
No, let me correct you.
Better.
Bianca should be main eventing.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah, I'm not...
Ronda does a good promo, so I get her. But
I get very irritated. I know that it's your turn to talk about
No,
Wildcard, but I get very irritated with the company for their lack of care for anybody but Roman. So,
yeah,
I know that I'm going down that rocky road of Sasha and Naomi or Mercedes and Trinity again. But when you give somebody a championship and then you say to them, you know what, I'd like you to lose to this other champion to make them look better, how am I, as a competitor or even as a viewer, supposed to believe that said champion freaking matters?
well, it would also help if they had any kind of women's tag division to defend.
Yeah, every time a pair of women drop the titles, they feud with each other because I don't know. It's all Vince knows.
No, that's literally no. You can stop right there. That's it.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell us about your wild card pick for Hell in a Cell, Josiah?
Well, my wild card pick, I decided, as I always do, since it's the wild card and I can pretty much say whatever I want something insane to happen in Hell in a Cell. It's been a while since we had
Mick Foley getting tossed off the cell?
Something similar, actually.
Okay.
Yes. You see, it's been a long time since we've had a good, solid top of the cell bump. I think Shane was the last person to really do a solid off the top of the cell bump.
Okay.
So I'm thinking in the Cody and Seth match, because that's the only cell match we know of right now.
Well, and we also assume it's going on last too.
Yeah, that would help.
Yes.
Yeah, because Roman's not wrestling, so yeah,
Right.
yeah. So they're most likely going on last. So you gotta have something crazy happen, something wild, something symbolic, something we've never seen before.
Yes.
Because we've seen Mick Foley fall 1,000 times.
Of course.
But what could it be? I was wondering. I was pondering to myself, what insane action could happen? Then I thought, what's the one connection that both men have? The pedigree.
What?
So I want, preferably the person winning the match, because it'd be kind of ridiculous if it happened the other way around.
Okay.
So, going off both of our predictions,
Okay.
Cody.
Yeah.
Pedigree, Seth Rollins, off the top of the Hell in a Cell.
No way.
All the way down, and I have no idea how you make this safe, because it's dangerous as all hell. But
my knees are hurting just thinking about it.
yeah. But pedigree, top of the cell, do an announce table, pad that sucker up, because I do not want either one of them to die.
Of course.
But I do want to see it happen.
So, I don't think this is any safer. Mind you, I don't think this is any safer. But when you talked about doing a bump off of the cell,
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think of Wrestle Kingdom. I know that might sound strange for said viewer to hear me say.
No, I think I know what you're talking
But
about.
I was thinking about Wrestle Kingdom because I can remember Cody Rhodes and Kota Ibushi standing on the apron of the ring and Cody Rhodes hitting a super sick crossroads onto the concrete. And so...
And Ibushi, in classic Ibushi fashion, almost killing himself on the cell.
So, I don't know if either moves are possible. I don't think anything of this nature is safe or possible.
Could be safe, could be executed. And keep in mind, these are trained professionals. I know we kind of forget that talking about them, but
sweating, shaking, hurting.
Like literally, their job is to fall professionally, and I don't think they can do this. But
if they wild card.
If they could figure it out, I would love to see it. And and now that you brought it up, a crossroads off the cell would look amazing as well. But yeah, it would. I was thinking because pedigree
sends a shiver down my spine.
Both of them have those Triple H connections.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
Works. It has
well, and here's the other crazy thing is that people predicted that Cody Rhodes would hit the pedigree in AEW and get booed out of the building, but I think if he hit the pedigree in the WWE, he would get
lose it.
So much love.
He'd be babyface supreme.
Yeah.
Especially since Triple H is God now. He's looked at as the savior.
It's so weird, the evolution of his career, his Triple H's path.
I get it.
So, and I didn't even say evolution in a sense to reference evolution, but
to he, I got you.
But so there were times when he was the stuck-up aristocrat, where people thought he was not good.
Yeah.
Then he becomes a degenerate, people love him. Then he marries Stephanie, people hate him again. Then
goes back to being degenerate for a little bit.
Well, sure. And people love him again. He, the Reign of Terror, right?
Yes,
More hate.
Terror.
It's like, so from there, he probably got another DX run, so another babyface run.
Yep.
Actually,
yeah.
Oh, and then he did the Authority, so there's another, it's all these hills and valleys.
And then NXT.
Which is a heel.
Oh my God.
And the final heel that he he will forever now be on is the we thought we were going to lose him hill. And,
Not
it
coming
changes
down from
things. What?
Said, well, there's coming down from that, but it's really hard to.
Right, yeah. Well, and who would want to come down from it when you think about things realistically?
Yeah.
I know personally as a fan, I like the things that he's a fan of. Adam Cole, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Adrian Neville, the list goes on.
All those really talented guys that most of them aren't in the company anymore.
Well, even if you're not talking about the main event, talk about the undercard.
Yeah.
He had his hands in creating DIY, American Alpha, AOP, The Revival,
Thank God.
Asuka's reigns, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh man, I forgot Shayna Baszler.
Ember Moon. Like, I love his taste in a product.
Yep.
And I also must say that I love the format of a 1 hour wrestling show. I think that NXT, the show, really suffered when it branched beyond the 1 hour format.
And became live.
Oh, yeah, because you can't hide the mistakes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that combination was not good. We're gonna expose you for longer, and you don't get reduced. Not a good combo.
right, but back to the compliment. Me and Paul, we and you too, I think.
Yeah.
Both of us and Paul, we have very similar tastes in professional wrestling, and just an overall love of professional wrestling.
We have a strong appreciation for it. It's been with us pretty much most of our lives.
Oh yeah, I mean I've
Without
been
a doubt.
told that I loved wrestling when I was 3 years old. I don't remember, but I've been told.
Yeah. Like literally, I think the first thing I ever watched was like Rey Mysterio popping out of the stage. I was like, ah, Rey!
So I don't know the first thing I ever watched, but I know the tapes that I would wear out, and
Yeah.
lots of those were Sting in '91, him and Luger's feud, Ron Simmons winning and retaining the world title.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh man, I never watched college football, but I was a humongous Florida Seminoles fan because Ron Simmons. I didn't know what a Seminole was, didn't know what a Florida was, but I knew I loved the Florida Seminoles because I love Ron Simmons.
Yeah, I don't know what a Seminole is either.
It's
Oh, the football team.
it's a tribe of Indians actually.
Oh, that would explain why I didn't know.
Well, yeah, sure, but I'm just saying that was what they're
that
named
makes
after.
sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, love this guy. I have a fantasy booking where he becomes the first black WWF World Heavyweight Champion. I know how to get in there, and I know how to get the title off him and get back on the timeline in like 4 months.
Not bad.
Solid reign. King of the Ring actually, where he challenges the Undertaker.
Oh, I forgot about that match.
It's the only time that you have to put the title on him, which doesn't completely change everything on the face of the planet. Like
Right.
I have a later plan to where that you give him a nice "we appreciate you" run
Like,
before JBL turns on him.
handshakes and kisses.
But I would have loved for him to win it in the Nation of Domination time.
Yeah.
Love that man.
Yeah.
He's somebody I'd love to meet.
Farouk is a classic.
I've missed a couple of opportunities to meet that man, and I don't want it to be like Road War Animal. Like, so I met Hawk before he passed. I mean,
man.
I was still a little one when I met him. But I missed Animal a few times.
Wow.
Just letting life get in the way. So I really want to meet Ron before
That time comes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how we got here, but man, it was a fun ride.
you know what it is? Because there was nothing for us to work with, we decided to just let our hearts lead the conversation.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That is the benefit of the triple
when
threat.
you have a love and appreciation for wrestling, it's not hard to fall down that nostalgia rabbit hole. Exactly. So I did a video at WrestleMania time saying nostalgia isn't my drug. Hope is, because I do personally hope that I can be successful, much like all my favorite wrestlers, with Everlasting Survivors Volume 1 all day long. Available now in limited quantities at Etsy.com. But, thanks, brother. But no, it was fun. It was good. I hope that the Chicago crowd is super hot. I hope that everything that WWE puts on gets over. And,
I hope it's a fun show.
yeah, and I know that next time that we're doing this and the next time that a wrestling show is in Chicago for Forbidden Door, it's going to be good. So,
I'll be there, so I'll let you guys know how it is.
oh, you got your tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I meant to ask, I really did, but it kept slipping my mind.
No, it's all good.
I'm so glad it's happening here because, yeah.
But yeah.
So,
But yeah, I'll
have you gone to other live events?
The last live event I went to was like a live SmackDown. So,
Okay.
And I think
Was it a house show or?
Nope, it was a legit SmackDown.
Nice.
I want to say it was back. I think I was in high school, so it was probably
sweet. So
2016 area.
So when I was home on leave from being deployed to Iraq, I went to Cyber Sunday.
Ooh.
The one where
That's
Kevin Federline cost.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then
That is a throwback.
and then King Booker was champion of champions. I think is what they called him.
Yep.
But regardless,
Champions.
the prior pay-per-view I went to, Unforgiven, where CM Punk loses the world title in a match he's not even in.
Oh yeah, it was 07.
I don't remember. But the point is, I'm on the DVD.
Yeah.
So they're painting.
you're actually there?
They're painting the crowd, and I'm here in the first row of the bleachers, and it's really cool. So what I was gonna say is, I don't know where your seat is, but I'm gonna keep an eye out for you, and everybody else should too. So it was super fun. Like I said, keep an eye out for Josiah at Forbidden Door, and I'll be back next week. I don't remember what we're gonna talk about then, but it's gonna be fun. So tune in.
You'll see when it's there.
Bye.